What's going on, everybody? So look, Love and Hip Hop. Wrong show. God damn, I ain't slipped up on this in a minute. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season 3, episode 9, Retribution. Okay, so first let's get some dealings out the way. Over the weekend, over last week or whatever, after the last episode and happened, some things and developed. Okay, Soldier Boy then got fired. He wanted to put out there talking about something. He quit because the Love and Hip Hop thing is too ratchet for his brand and all this stuff. Bitch, you ain't been on the season, okay? And I'm looking on this shit, and him nor Nia is in the opening credits. I did not realize that. I said, bitch, they was phasing your ass out in the first goddamn play. Mona said, what you won't do is lie on my shit, bitch. You were fucking fired, okay? They was filming the Love and Hip Hop reunion, okay? And Masika and apparently, well, allegedly, Hazel E popped her ass up there and tried to get in on Masika, okay? They've been going back and forth for a minute, and they've been doing all this shit on the internet and shit, saying what they did and what they wouldn't do, and girl, it's just a fucking mess. They better show this shit if it happened, okay? Um, what else been happening on Love and Hip Hop? Okay, and let's put this out here. So a couple of episodes ago, when Brandy put it out there that yes, and Beyonce is my friend. Okay, she's my BFF. I was like, girl, I ain't gonna put it past you because, like I said in that review, I seen the picture where Miss Tina was playing around with little Brandis. Okay, when she giving him all the cute stuff and all this shit. I said, so she really over there kicking it with them. I was like, oh, okay, so I wasn't gonna put it past them, but she made sure to get her a picture at the last show for the Formation tour out here in New Jersey. All right, and looking ever much so the fan. Okay, y'all didn't look like y'all was friends or whatever. Y'all look like y'all was fans. Like that was a fan taking a picture with Beyonce. Girl, don't make yourself look so desperate, okay, to prove a fucking point. All right. Some people didn't believe it. I still like Beyonce be at home looking at. She finna go through her DVR like this bitch didn't learn not a damn thing from me. Like, why put your shit on Front Street? Okay, this is why I keep her to the side. She didn't put it out there that we know each other. God damn. That's what she's doing. You can't tell me no different. But hey, we all got some friends. Well, some of us got some friends that we friends on a low low, okay? I don't need everybody in the world to know that shit. But anyway, moving on. So let's get into this episode. So Nikki Baby and Shonda, they going out. Everything been going on with me and Willie ever since he moved out the house. It's like I just been in this funk. I don't know really what to do. I'm trying to keep my life together and keep my family together, but Willie, he just really fucked that up. So I've been going through it, and my girl Nikki was like, "Come on, let's go out and do something about it. Let's go to yoga." Like, who the fuck said go to yoga? Listen, Nikki Baby's body really do look like a Barbie doll with that slim tight. It just looks so abnormal, like your ass does not fit your waist, does not fix your top, okay? That is not cute at all. That is just, I don't know what it is, but it's deplorable. In the words of Hillary Clinton, it's deplorable. Your body is a bunch of deplorable parts, okay? That's what it looks like. But anyway, so Shonda telling her what's going on with Willie and all that stuff, and how, the kids get to go see daddy anytime they want to. I ain't never gonna put it past him and say, he went on ahead and said that he fucked that bitch, okay? But what I won't do is say that he's a bad father. The kids can go see their daddy anytime they want to. That's what I won't do. I won't stop him from seeing his kids and all that shit. But we need to figure this shit out. Girl, what's going on with you? They found out. Girl, what? Yeah, both of them found out. So I don't know what I want to do with Rosa or Safari. It's like at this point in time, my mom and my daddy, they've been together for like 39 years, and I'm not trying to settle down with nobody until I know that shit is real, okay? Because I don't believe in the divorce and all this shit. All right. I don't really understand what I'm doing. I don't even think I really want a relationship because it's like ever since my brother died a year ago, I just been dealing with it, and this seems like I'm just acting out in that way. I'm helping my parents move because they don't want to be up in the house that he died in and all this stuff. I was like, okay, you acting out. I guess that's what you want to put it out there. Sorry about your brother. I think I did hear about that. Did he commit suicide? Something like that. That was very sad. Okay, we're not gonna put past that, but most likely you probably are. If you want to put it that way, I can see you acting out, getting your pussy ate and your your pussy pounded and it ate all at the same time. So hey, it is what it is. Moving on from that, Brandy. First of all, I gotta give it to Max because Max put the ends in to get that shit. Brandy ain't bringing home no motherfucking money. Cause girl, listen, I'm just gonna say that whoever this house is and whoever paying the bill for this house, that bathroom was fucking everything. That tub and that's a jacuzzi tub in the middle of the floor. Come the fuck on, Max. Okay, y'all know. No, notice I ain't been going in on this tea. I'm gonna lay out for a minute because he ain't really been pissing me off or whatever. Ever since he Bitch, ever since Brandy jumped on top of that car, that shit made me laugh and I just laid off for a minute, okay? It's just funny. Bitch, I might have to go back in because, you picking sides after you didn't pick sides, okay? But I understand that's your wife, so of course, she got to give you the puss that night, so I guess. Um, he was like, yo, babe, what's going on? Look, it took forever for me to not wake your ass up in the middle of the night when I got home because this bitch Monique, she gets up there on a thing talking about something. This little Becky came up in my DMs telling me all about my court case. Oh, she put out there your court case and all this stuff. Here go, Brandy. Monique took it upon herself. I don't care what she said about some Becky talking about a court case that I can't even talk about, okay? But best believe the truth will reveal itself. I said, girl, shut the fuck up, okay? I don't. Obviously, you did something because there is a court case and you just confirmed that. Max is like, so what you don't do is if you're going at each other, you don't put nobody. That's one thing that you don't fuck with their family and you don't put nobody's personal business out there when you going head to head with somebody. Pause. You don't fuck with nobody family when that family ain't involved in this shit. Kids and shit, kids, mamas and all that shit, that's all fucking limits, alright? But your personal business, baby, let me tell you something. When you going head to head, that's basically what it is, okay? You call them out on their bullshit. That's how y'all go head to head. You don't just say, oh, you fat this, you ugly this. Motherfuckers throw their personal shit out there too, okay? So that's how you fight fire with fire. I'm just fucking saying, alright? So he was like, and Masika in on this shit too. First of all, Masika was in on it a little bit, but she was on y'all side a little bit too, saying that shit didn't make no sense. But, Masika knew what the fuck she was doing, so she finna get them bullets too. And Max was like, don't even worry about it because I ain't even working with that whack bitch either. You want to side up there with Monique, you can fucking side over there with Monique. Don't get nothing from me. I said, oh, first you wanted to work with the bitch and you thought that her shit was good. Now she's a whack bitch. I see how the tables turn, because I ain't even finna pick sides and I'm not gonna pick the wrong side and all this shit. I got your back, baby. I said, but when the shit popped off in the studio, you definitely picked Masika's side because you didn't go after your wife. You cussed that bitch out, but now you wanna, okay, I see how we gonna play this. But whatever makes sense in your world, we gonna do that shit that way, okay? So Masika, she's out here talking about some, I'm out here and I want to go ahead and do this open mic night. I want to put out this listening party for some music or whatever that I have because I really just want to touch the mic and see what people is doing, And it's the song that I'm doing called Black Cinderella. It was how I was feeling at the time, but it's really about Fetty Wap. And, it's kind of cautionary putting it out there because we're in a good place right now. And I'm looking at the crowd and I'm like, where is it? It's crickets up in that bitch, okay? It's sound effects and crickets up in that bitch, all right? I said, Mona, you gotta stop fucking playing because did y'all see when they panned out and it was like a person right here and then it was like a person 50 feet next to him and then that 50-foot space, it was like connect the dots up in that bitch, okay? And it was to connect the dots that only had 10 dots to it, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 back at start. Okay, that's how much it was. I said, girl, if y'all don't quit playing. Nia and her and them, whatever, they talking about what happened. Monique's going in on Brandy. I don't got shit on that bitch. I don't give a fuck about that bitch. The only thing that I want to do is see that bitch like this. Dead. Monique, you talk so much shit about people, okay? And your karma's gonna come for your ass, all right? It's gonna come for your ass. The shit make me laugh, okay? Because I can't stand a bitch, but I would never wish death on the motherfucker, okay? I would never talk about a bitch child, and I would never wish death on the person, okay? You cross all those lines, all right? And get mad when they do the same thing about you, girl. I just don't understand. But that shit was happening. They talking about Fetty and how she feel about that. And, he be on the road and groupies and all this shit. Masika talking like they was in a goddamn relationship. Like they was boyfriend and girlfriend. No, bitch, you was a jump off, okay? He put your dick in and, he forgot to strap that bitch up or he didn't pull out in time. That's all the fuck that happened, girl. Life. That's what Fetty does. Come on. You just fell victim to it. You lied yourself. So Princess go sit down with Jason Lee to tell him exactly what happened. And then was talking in code. I'm like, this motherfucker is a blogger, a nosy ass one at that. So of course you could have just went on ahead and said it was Monique's listening party. I was invited to with Brandy and all this shit. I can get the hesitation about mentioning Brandy name because Brandy did call him SpongeBob and threw a drink at him, okay? You know, fine. And he was basically like, so what the fuck you want? She said, I heard that you had this tape that, you know, this sex tape of Monique's and I want it. Like, what the fuck? I said, so y'all finna just leak shit. Is that shit illegal? You know, that's kind of illegal some way, somehow. But anyway, excuse me. And then we got you on TV saying that girl, you putting all type of shit. If Monique wanted to, girl, come on, you giving this bitch ammunition, and then Mona gonna get the good spots, okay? Mona gonna get the good spots. So if the bitch want to take it to court, all she gotta do is say, run the tape back, bitch, okay? You know, but anyway, moving on from that, she wants the tape. And he was like, bitch, if Brandy want this tape, I think she said Brandy might want the tape or whatever to get back at Monique. She said, bitch, if Brandy want the tape, I don't hate her, I don't dislike her, but I just don't fuck with the bitch. Now, if she want to come, grovel at my feet, apologize, do all this, do all that, he lists all this shit, then maybe I think about it. And she was like, how the tape is. I mean, it's cool. Got back shots and all that shit. I mean, the performance wasn't all that, but you know, it was cool for what it was. I said, bitch, I want to see it too. And he was like, it's for some rapper, maybe after you know, Fizz of course, and to fill the void of Fizz and all that shit. Mind you, they got into it this weekend about, you know, Jason put it out there saying that she got pregnant by Shaq. She used to fuck with Shaq when Shawnee was still with him and all this stuff. Mind you, and got pregnant by him. Monique put it back out there talking about something. Well, let's see. When they was married, I was this age, and in 2000 and this, November 4th this, and that and that. I said, girl, you giving all these numbers, but you never denied the fact that you fucked Shaq. So is that shit true or not? Okay? I was like, what the hell, Monique? Who can fuck that man? That takes a lot of courage, okay? That takes a lot of courage. You like adventure if you want to ride on that. Tell your insides up. God damn, that's like the equivalent to fisting. I'm sorry to get graphic, but you know, that's what it seemed like with a Shaq, okay? I mean, a nigga named Shaq. God damn, Shaq Diesel. Ain't nobody got time for that. But moving on from that, we get this scene with Lyrica Jr. and Lyrica Sr. meeting up, okay? Lyrica Sr. is still up in her feelings about the way that, you know, Lyrica Jr. went about, you know, getting married, eloping with A1. She got it up in her head that A1 is the one that put her mind up to it and all this shit. And I'm like, it takes two, okay? Your daughter ain't no little bitch, all right? Your daughter can speak up for herself, and if she didn't want to get married because of the bullshit that y'all was doing, she would have said hell nah and waited, okay? So quit blaming it all on A1. Bitch, Lyrica said, oh, did Lyrica Singer was like, did he tell you what he did to me and how he spoke to me when I seen to him? She was like, hell yeah, he did. And he told me that you broke our picture. Bitch, fuck your picture. You broke my heart. You could get a new picture. I said, come again. Mama or no mama, that would have been my cue to fucking leave before I knocked the bitch out, okay? We all had those moments where we wanted to knock the shit out of our parents, especially our mom. You know, when they be hollering at us when I was younger, and then one time I had balled up my fence and my mama said, do something with that. She saw that shit and I said, you had to take one of them things, and I still got popped just for balling up my girl, and I still ain't hit her. I never hit her. Child, I'd probably fall out and die if I hit her. Just because, you know, I just wouldn't feel right. Even though sometimes I be wanting to knock the shit out of her. You know, we all have those moments. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real. But anyway, she was like, and I agree with Lyrica Senior when she was talking about old girl hair. Like, bitch, change the color. Okay, that light shit just don't do nothing for you. But she wanna get so that she won't bring up the elopement no more. She want her to pay for her liposuction. I've been hiking 5 days a week, And it's like, this little shit right here won't go nowhere. I said, bitch, go hike, go do some fucking crunches and go eat right, bitch. Okay, what the fuck? You gonna tell her to pay for your liposuction just to soothe your, that's gonna mend your broken heart? I said, everything got a price, all right? And the way she said it was like, you gonna do it regardless. Bitch, where's your fucking, nope, that's an elective surgery. That means that probably ain't gonna pay for it. You could have said that shit up, bitch, okay? You knew exactly what you was doing. You pulled that out your hand because you knew. You knew. And then we get to this scene with Fetty Wap, bitch. Fetty Wap talking about he been in LA for a couple of days. He ain't really spoke to Masika because he don't like coming out here seeing her, because every time he leave and he don't leave happy. He was like, I don't want to be in no relationship with her. You know, I'm trying to get the fans everything that they need, you know, something a little different and all this stuff. He just disgusts me. Y'all like the dirtiest looking motherfuckers on this planet. Okay, I ain't a prize, but goddamn, bitch, when you look at me, at least it look like I scrubbed something. Okay, you know, his shit just look. He gives Max a run for his money, and Max looks 10 times better than the Fetty Wap when it comes to appearance. Okay, and I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about appearance, because you see my dreads, okay, bitch, I'm finna go get this shit fucking did on Wednesday because I got shit to do on the weekend. I'm not finna get on screen, you know, if it's a national thing like that. And even that, it still look a little decent or whatever. I still got my little new growth. You can see that shit. But my shit look decent, okay? I'm not gonna make it obvious to look like a motherfucking bum like he did. Go and get your braids retwisted, okay? Retwist the motherfucking roots and have somebody put a real band up in your hair. Because, bitch, that little sloppy shit, it was just irking me. It looked disgusting. It looked nasty. And then your teeth. Oh my God, why are they the color that they are? Okay, and you bitches be falling all over him, having babies by this motherfucker left and fucking right. Okay, and y'all kiss him in the mouth. I'm pretty sure of it. The nigga be looking over here and looking over nowhere. Okay, and he got, his breath just looked like it smelled of 40s, Black and Miles, weed, and all the shit in the baby pamper world. Okay, because it just looks disgusting. Like, I just don't get it. Not a Tic Tac or Winter Fresh can save that shit, bitch. Mentos Fresh Break, no. Okay, it's just not gonna work. All right, it's just. Oh, you talking about something, you just gonna be in baby Kari life and she gonna know when she need a daddy, I'm gonna be here. She gonna be like, daddy, no, your breath. Ooh, my boss breath was stinking today. Oh my God. And I love him, but I just didn't want to tell him that it smelled like sour apple and shit. Okay? I just didn't want to do that. But you know, that was what was going down with that shit. Y'all, if y'all see some green shit in my tea, let me know. I just devoured a bag of fucking broccoli. Broccoli is forever good. I don't care what nobody say. Broccoli, spinach can never go fucking wrong, no matter which way you fucking do it. Anyway, moving on. Um, so this little sad scene with you know, Nikki Baby. You see, oh my, he was my brother. He was like the glue that took everything and made everything together and brought us all together. And you know, we did business, and now, you know, my mom, she's really sad about it and all this stuff. And it was a sad scene, okay? So let me correct myself. He didn't die of a suicide. That was Sam's brother who died of a suicide from Love and Hip Hop New York. He died from a drug overdose. So I understood what they were talking about. And then mama threw up in there, baby, I want to see you with a good man. Nikki was like, girl, I ain't trying to fuck with no nigga right now. Okay. Moving on from that, Princess goes over there to see Brandy and tell her about the shit with Jason. And she's basically like, oh, what I gotta do, you know, we did get into a little tuffle last year, but I'm gonna have to put on a charm. You tell him to come to dinner, take him out to eat, and I'll take it from there and all that shit, because she want this sex tape. Calling Moniece, ho niece, and all this shit. And I'm like, you know what? You would expect a bitch like Monique to be like, okay, and I got a fucking sex tape. What the fuck ever? Put that shit out there. I look good in it. That's the type of impression Monique's give me, but I see how this bitch react. Masika over here being so dramatic, like she the only baby mama that got a deadbeat baby daddy. Okay, you chose to lay down with this motherfucker when he already had 15 other kids and 20 other baby mamas. Wait a minute, that math does not work. 15 other kids and at least 10 baby mamas. Okay, that works better. And now you're complaining about how he don't show up. He don't want to show up. He keep putting it off. He putting his boys over it. Girl, I have no sympathy for you. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Then Brandy and Princess, they go and meet up with Jason Lee. Brandy like, I got this gift for him, and of course he's gonna like it, and I don't get no gifts for nobody, and all this shit. And Jason Lee is like, okay, it's gonna take some more than some fucking sunglasses or whatever the fuck that probably made in China or some shit, you know, to get me to want to give you something on somebody that for some reason that I don't even have to, I'm not even fucking involved in, and I don't really give a shit about. And she was like, I'm gonna be your friend for life, okay? Once I tell you that my loyalty is in after this, my loyalty is in and all this shit. He was like, well, that scene in Welcome Coming to America, and when they told him to bark like a dog, this bitch gets up and bark and hop and all this shit. And I'm like, they talking about some friends. I'm sitting here like, that's how y'all become friends these days in Hollywood? That's why y'all gonna be fighting on the next season, bitch. I can't figure y'all. Oh, Masika. Girl, I'm tired of it, okay? You sitting down there whining to Moniece about Fetty Wap. How they want to put it out there in the blogs that you trying to fuck him, and no, you just want him to come see the baby. He the one that's hitting you up at 9 p.m. when the baby asleep. Girl, bitch, okay, I get it. Move on. This shit with Lyrica and her mama and A1. A1, you tried it, but I was here for it, bitch, okay? I don't give a shit what nobody say. Tiara talking about that was disrespect. We don't tell no bitch, okay? First of all, let's go back. He finna have a do-over for the reception party that, Lyrica Senior fucked up, okay? And so, everybody's there. You got Safari trying to hit on Tiara. Tiara looking like, bitch, no, okay? I'm looking at Safari like she's not biting. Look at her face. She's not fucking biting. I see you just looking at her ass because it was sticking out that butt. Poom, poom. Pang, pang. All right? But, let it fuck go. Tiara said, nope, you're not finna get me with that coconut oil ass chest, okay? And so, they go sit down. Lyrica Senior come up there. Bitch, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Body was looking nice. That looked a little bit too young for her age. She said Grenade was butt big in her head up, bitch. Oh my God, look at you. You looking good, bitch. I know, right? Look, when to have a daughter that age, at the age that I am, when we going out, people be thinking that we sisters. And I said, in what universe did they saying that Lyrica look just as old as you, bitch? I'm just fucking saying, because all you gotta do is look at the goddamn face and the weave. Moving on from that. So A1 was like, Lyrica told him about the shit. A1, I didn't say nothing this whole season about your pearls and your black nail polish. I really don't have a problem with it. But what I have a problem with is you getting on Snapchat a few days ago, probably was last week, with that motherfucking pearl ass choker. You're taking it a little bit too far for me. Okay, that's where the buck stops right there. Okay, moving on from that. You sitting there and he said, I got something for him, talking about some liposuction. You not finna extort no money out of me, which is kind of what she was doing if you want to think about it in legal terms, legalese, all right? So, she sits down and he was like, you know what? I just want to thank everybody here. I got my wife, I got my mother, and then Pam was like, yeah, I got my daughter-in-law and all this stuff. And Lyrica Senior jumping down Pam. Can he stop? Can he talk? Just let the boy talk. I said, you didn't have to do that. Because Pam was not messing with nobody. She wasn't fucking with nobody. She wasn't being rude nor disrespectful. Bitch, you were. Okay? So next thing you know, some more stuff popped off, and Lyrica Senior was like, you never apologized about how that made me feel. You never said sorry or anything like that. He said, well, bitch, I'm not gonna say sorry, okay? You come in my shit disrespectful as fuck, and you talk about something you want me to pay some liposuction, it ain't gonna happen. But let me tell you something, I got you another solution that's cheaper. Gave her a fucking waist trainer. Bitch, I damn near fell the fuck out because Tiara was like, you don't get no woman a waist trainer because you telling them that they're fat and that it matters that they're fat, okay? And I said, well, bitch, she the one that said that she fat herself because she wanted the fucking liposuction. I'm just saying, she got some fat, some jiggly parts she wanted removed. That's what it implied when she said she wanted the fucking liposuction. I don't know what the fuck else. So she gets in her feelings and get that waist trainer to your fat ass mama. I said, see, I knew this was gonna go down this road. A1, I saw what you was trying to do, and I was on your side too because, Lyrica singing, she's just above and beyond herself, and she started shit as soon as she sat her ass down. All right, I get it, but you didn't think this shit out, okay? Because your mama was sitting right there, and you knew the next target that she was gonna hit. If she couldn't hit you and get through you, she was gonna get to your mama and get the reaction that she wanted from you out of your mama, which was for you to get all up in her motherfucking face, bitch. Pam said, "What the fuck? Fuck you, bitch," and I was like. Lyrica singing, this is about you. This ain't had shit to do with Pam. Pam sitting there waiting for her 40 to come around, okay? She is waiting for her 40 and a blunt, all right? That's what she's waiting on. And you just put her name up in this shit like you wanted some trouble to happen. You wanted some shit to happen. And it was all hilarious to me because then Pam was like, "You fucking bitch." No. Lyrica singing was like, with your mama fat ass stomach just drooping right there. She was like, "Bitch, you fat, you this, you fucking bitch. Don't you call me no goddamn bitch." And that's when Lyrica singing tried to turn up and did throw a plate at her. I said, "Girl, I don't have time for this." Security came out of nowhere. Even Safari was like, "I'm dumb as bricks, but you don't do no shit like this. This ain't how you end the drama. This how you keep it going." I was like, well, he just don't give a shit. Sometimes we don't think it all the way through. So they get into it. Pam was calling her all types of bitches and shit. Girl, Lyrica singing, "I'm sorry to say, you are bitch, and whoever the fuck do your makeup, they ain't doing it right. Bitch, you doing that shit in the dark. Too much fucking powder on your face, okay?" Pam ass had the nerve to say, "Bitch, you look like a man." I said, well, both y'all do. So let's stop that. Let's stop that, okay? Tit for tat. And then Tiara, no. Lyrica Jr. just all in her feelings. Now, you don't do no shit like that. How dare you give my mama a waist trainer? And you better not call my mama no bitch. Take your ghetto ass back to Kansas City. I'm sitting here like y'all was just good. Okay, you did not realize that your mama started this shit. And I understand she just trying to get back in her mama good graces because she know deep down inside they said all the shit that she couldn't say to her mama. Okay, I'm just saying. So, technically speaking, Lyrica was right to stand up for her mama a little bit, but she should have stood up for her. I'm gonna just leave it right there because my personal feelings is I ain't see what he did was wrong, but it just went left. It just went left and all that shit. And she was like, "He an asshole. That's what you bring me up in here with all this bitch and this asshole." He was like, "You an asshole." She said, "Don't you ever call my mama an asshole." Bitch, Safari was sitting there like, bitch, that would have been me. I ain't putting my foot in nothing. I'm finna sit here. I'm finna eat my food, eat my little kale salad, and I'm finna drink my drink and watch this shit go down. Girl, loving hip hop. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. Peace.